A couple named Kate and Matt bought a new home at the outskirts of New York. They were happy to start a new life here together and build their family. On arrival, they unpacked their properties and had a little fun while at it. Kate also hid in a box and gave him the scare of his life. He is an artist, so he went ahead to set up his workroom. Just then Matt heard a sound and came out to check, and it was Kate, who was unpacking some ruins used to block a particular area. He reminded her that he was going to handle it, but she said he would soon start drawing and nothing else would matter, and that's why she wanted them to finish up before he starts working. She moved on to organize the kitchen but was shocked to see a bird lying dead on the floor. She tapped it to make sure. Then she gently carried it outside but was distracted by Matt, who was throwing the ruins out. But as soon as she returned her focus to the bird, to her surprise it had disappeared. She looked up to see if it flew away but saw nothing. Meanwhile, Matt found a key in the ruins. It looked mysterious, but he casually threw it away. As he was done cleaning, he noticed strange markings on the wall. He tore out the wallpaper to reveal a giant mysterious door. He discovered the lock matches the shape of the rusted key he threw away. So he went back down to get it. He inserted the key into the door and unlocked it. He immediately called to his wife, and together they opened the door and stared at the mysterious room. Immediately she stepped inside. The lights began to flicker. Matt said he was going to call the power company. However, the flickering stopped the moment she stepped out of the room. The following day, the guy from the power company arrived. He was surprised at the room and the thick wires surrounding it. He said the wires were older than his grandma and wasn't sure how to handle it. Before he left, he told Matt that he was surprised when he heard that someone had bought the house. He also said that the previous owners encountered a tragic incident a long time ago in this house. He advised him not to touch the wires and said he would be back with an estimate of when the power surge will be fixed. Out of curiosity, he researched about the incident and found out that the suspect was locked up even though they don't know his identity. He drew the face of the young man as a reminder that something is not right. Then he went into the mysterious room tired and exhausted. He casually said, "I need another bottle." The light flickered, and when it came back, he was shocked to see another bottle of beer sitting right in front of him. The next morning his wife woke up to the lights flickering continuously. She went looking for Matt and found him in the room surrounded by paintings and other stuffs. She asked him where everything came from. It happened to be that he had been making stuffs all night using the room. He showed her the original painting of Van Gogh 1889. And said it was made by the room, but she said he was drunk and needed rest. He told her to ask for anything she wanted, to which she casually said that she wanted $1,000. The lights flickered and Matt searched around the room and found $1,000. She looked at the money and was surprised and thought Matt was playing some sort of trick. She said she'd see how far he would continue playing this trick and wished for $1 million. As the lights came back on, there was $1 million sitting right in front of them. She got scared and wanted to leave the room, but Matt stopped her and said they should enjoy it and have some fun. After some persuasion, she agreed. They wished for the best champagnes in the world and more money. They carried their possessions to their room. She quit her job as a translator and they swam in their newly found wealth, eating anything they wanted. They wore their dream tux and dresses and had exclusive date nights in the house where he showered her with diamonds. They were so happy. After several days of living their best life, Kate was shown sitting outside and looking troubled. Despite getting everything they wanted, she was sad because they have been trying to have a baby for a while. In an attempt to cheer her up, Matt surprised her with a baby cottage he made from the room, and said they should give it another try. But she said she was tired of trying. She was so sad and burdened by her desire that she requested something from the room which would cause their doom later in this video. As Matt entered the room, he was shocked to see a baby in their house, and his wife beaming with smile. He instantly knew it was the room that made it, and confronted her immediately, saying it was wrong and they won't keep the baby. Kate persisted, but he insisted, so they carried the baby into the room to wish for it to be gone. But before they could say anything, the baby began to cry as though appealing to their good conscience. They couldn't do it, so they took him back. At night he cried unstoppably. Matt went into the room and requested for a bottle of milk. But before he could get back, the baby was already breastfeeding and looked at Matt as though calling him a sucker. He still couldn't forget about the incident of the previous owners. So he decided to meet the suspect at the state mental hospital where he is kept and get more information. Before leaving, Matt took some of the money made by the room. At the hospital, the man identified as John Doe and said the room made him do it. He advised him to forget about the room and everything it's giving them and leave the house. On his way back, he stopped at a gas station, but as he tried to pay with the money he took earlier, he noticed that it had turned to dust. He was surprised. Immediately he got home, he took the money and threw them out the window, and to his amazement they all turned to dust. Next he took one of the original paintings made by the room, and placed it in a way that a part of it was outside the house and the other part was inside. The part outside the house instantly withered and fizzled into dust. He was amazed, and it dawned on him that none of the things produced by the room can be taken outside the house. Just then stumbled upon his wife, who was about to go outside with the baby for some fresh air, and told her she cannot take the baby outside. It sounded ridiculous, so she didn't listen to him. He instantly turned red and began to cry, while his clothes and shoes began to disintegrate. She called to Matt, who was hesitant at first but later rushed out and carried the child inside. But to their surprise, he had aged, and is now 11. Matt explained to her that everything the room produced must not be taken outdoors, as they age instantly and turn to dust. On hearing these words, she couldn't believe her ears. However, she cared for the child as though it was her own. She named him Shane, and strictly prevented him from going outside, saying he was sick. But the child was curious and also exhibited stubborn tendencies. Matt ordered for a gun just to be ready for anything. Their family was filled with an unspoken gloom and sadness. One day Shane discovered the room. Casually he wished he was outside. Matt and Kate noticed the flickering lights and went to the room. They were surprised to see he had transformed the room into a makeshift outside. Kate was happy at his cleverness, but Matt dragged him inside and banned him from entering the room. He locked it and kept the key in his cupboard. He told Kate that it was dangerous, as he can dream up a dragon or even worse things at any slightest provocation. Just then the phone rang. It was John Doe. Matt asked him if there was a way for them to bring the boy outside without him turning to dust. He replied that the only way is for the child's creator, which is the wife, would have to die. He revealed the secret that he was also produced from the room by the previous couple, and for him to be free he had to kill them. Unknowing to them, his wife overheard everything. This made them lose their mind even more. One fateful day, they woke up to see the front door open and Shane's clothes on the floor. Next they found him sitting in a room all grown up. It happened to be that he intentionally went outside and made himself bigger. Suddenly he pointed the gun at them and almost shot Matt. Matt jumped in on him and they began to tussle over the gun. In the process, Kate was knocked out. As she regained consciousness, she saw Matt standing in front of her and asking if she was okay. Only that he wasn't Matt. Shane had used the room to make himself look like Matt so he can be with Kate. When she asked him of Shane, he said that as they were fighting for the gun, he got shot, so he took the body outside and it turned to dust. Kate was very sad and went outside and he followed her. Kate had no idea that they were inside the room which Shane had created to look exactly like the real world. When the real Matt woke up on the real side of the world, he searched everywhere but couldn't find anyone. Then he saw the lights flickering, meaning that someone was inside. He tried to open it, but it was locked from inside. Using an axe, he made a hole and crawled through the wires to the other side. He saw footprints and followed it. Meanwhile, Shane has a habit of eating ice when he was little. Kate noticed this on Matt and immediately realized he wasn't the real Matt. Just then he began to make advances at Kate, who instantly pushed him off and ran away. Shane followed her. He knocked her out and had his way. Meanwhile, the real Matt came to a house which looked similar like their own. He broke into the house, which alerted Shane and made him to go looking. As Kate was trying to sneak away, she met Matt, who nudged her to go with him. Just then another Matt appeared and asked her to go with him. She was confused and didn't know who to follow. As one of them dragged her along, she just called Shane, which made the real Shane to turn around, revealing himself. She instantly pushed him down the stairs and ran off with the real Matt. They created a clone figment of themselves to distract Shane. He attacked the clones and killed Matt. Just then he saw them run by, and ran after them immediately. They ran to the exit of the room and went into the real house. As they tried to escape outside, knowing it'll be lethal for Shane to follow, he pounced on Matt, who grabbed him, and they both fell outdoors. On realizing where he was, he started running back to the house, but Kate locked the door immediately. Shane began to age rapidly and continuously till he died and then turned into a pile of dust. Matt and Kate moved out of the house immediately. 1 month later, she realized she was pregnant. She was shocked and confused because is it Matt's or Shane's, or probably a wish she made in the room. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications if you enjoyed the video.